Here we go, come with me. There's a world out there that we should see. Take my hand, close your eyes. With you right here, I'm a rocketeer.
A lot of people will think if you want to be a flight attendant, you have to be really tall like a supermodel or something like that. Yeah, they ask you beauty pageant questions. I have applied so many times for this position. I honestly cannot remember how many times I applied because I did not count my failure. I just counted the times that the next time that I will apply. Hi guys, it's me, Misskaykrizz from beaflightattendant.blogspot.com, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will just talk about the entire process on getting the job as a flight attendant, and for the tips and tricks on how to get a job, I think that's an entirely different subject and it's very broad and I cannot cover it in one video. This is based entirely on my experience and I am not representing any company, and this is just me. Anyways, this introduction is becoming too long, so let's get right on to the video.
The topics that I will be covering today will be the process on how you become a flight attendant, which is summarized on these steps. First step is you meet the basic requirements, and step 2, pass the interview process. Step 3, pass your medical exams, and finally, pass the flight attendant training.
Number 1, you have to meet the basic requirements. That is the required height, required weight that is proportionate to your height, and the educational experience. You have to check on the company that you're applying for, the height that they require. Usually it will be about 157 centimeters. It really depends. So once you have your height, you have to make sure that your weight is the proportionate weight for your height. It doesn't mean that you have to be really skinny to have that supermodel figure to get this job. Actually, you can get in trouble for that because if you are below your required weight, sometimes they don't pick you and maybe sometimes they do. But if you're not just the exact weight for your height, that could be a point against you. You have to check your BMI or body mass index. Just Google it and you will see how to calculate for it. They have these tables and all that. This is your height, this should be your weight range or something. So you could just check that out in Google. The educational experience, if you have graduated high school, that will be good enough for international flight attendants, I guess, because they do not really put the educational requirements that high. But if you are applying for a local company in your home country, I believe that they have higher standards. Like for me, they require college graduates, and the minimum, if not college graduates, is 2 years in college.
Aside from the height, weight, and educational background requirements, each and every company also have their own standards when it comes to age and civil status. So once you think that you meet all these requirements, make sure on the day of the interview that you bring your resume, pictures, and wear business attire.
So for the interview process, there are 4 basic steps. The first step is the impact interview. This will usually last about a minute or 2 minutes. And the group discussion, and the examination, and the final interview. So that is the all 4 process on how they go about the recruitment. And this is, like I said, just the basic way they do it. Some companies have more, some have different styles.
After you have gone through the whole interview process, you may know the results immediately, or if they let you wait, you might be asking, for how long do you think you should wait? Sometimes it takes a month or more, but usually the basic ballpoint will be 2 weeks. For the duration of the interviews on open days, these are big events that are held in hotels, it usually is just 2 consecutive days. However, for regular interviews, it may vary. It could be that you are set on initial interview on this date and you will be called to continue on with the process for another month, 2 weeks, and you never know. So it's not like open days wherein it's consecutive. Sometimes there's a waiting period in between the interviews.
So the next step after the interview process will be the medical examinations. This will be shouldered by you, for sure. So you gotta have savings for that. Basically, it will cost about 2,000 to 5,000 pesos. Just make sure you live a healthy lifestyle and you maintain it once you get the job. So they will check for CBC, blood chemistry, I think, and then urinalysis, fecalysis, the works. Also, they will check for your x-ray, see if your lungs are clear, your heart is fine. Also, if you have scoliosis, some companies they do not accept, but most companies they do. And they have this range from 10 to 15 degrees, and you're still acceptable. Also, the eye exam, I got a lot of questions about eyes. And they ask, if I wear glasses, can I still be a flight attendant? And if I have this kind of grade, I have myopia, nearsightedness, farsightedness, can I still be a flight attendant? And the answer to that question is yes, you can. That's about it for the medical exams. You usually get the results within a day, 3 days, or a week or so. And then after you get the results, you have to pass that on to your employer. And that's it, you're clear.
And here are the examples of procedures that you have to go through for your medical exams once you have passed all your interviews.
The last and not least step that you have to go through to become a flight attendant is, of course, the training. You would say that I have passed the interview, I have passed the medicals, I am set. But no girl, you're not. You still have to pass the training. Some companies are very strict with the test scores and some not really. And I can say for the international flight attendant scene, it's not as cutthroat as it is in the local scene because sometimes the passing rate will be about 85% of the test questions. About the test scores, in the local or in my home country, the passing scores will be 95 to 90% tops. And you can only fail about once, I think 5 times. And once you have failed 5 times, you are out of the program. But for the international scene, the passing score will be about 80 to 85%, and that is a good news for you. So you still have to study, but there is just more margin for error. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but for me personally, 80% is much better than 95%. So that is it for the scores. You have to pass everything, and you can only fail 3 to 5 times, and that is it. And then one more strong point or important point that you have to remember is that you always have to be on time on your training. I don't know if it is all of the companies. I know most of the companies have this policy that you can never be late in any training. You can only be late once or twice, and then you're out of the company or you're out of the program. You can never be absent. If you're absent one time, that is it. You're out. Nice to know you. Goodbye. So if you are very successful in each and every step of the process, congratulations girl, you got it! So that is it for my video today, all about the question how to be a flight attendant. I hope that you enjoy it and you learn something from it. If you want more information about my writings on the topic, I usually write about the salary, the experiences I have in different companies. I wrote it down in my blog. I will be putting the link down below, which is beaflightattendant.blogspot.com, and just browse through my archives. I have all the topics written down there. I will be available for you on social media. I have my Twitter account, my Facebook page, and my Instagram account, and I hope that I help you out in some way or another. I really appreciate all my readers in my blog, and I hope that I could just give you all a big hug because you supported me through my vlog journey, and I hope that you will also support me on this YouTube channel that I have. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this. Also, I'd like to ask for your help if you want me to do, tell me what kind of videos you want me to do, and in my free time, I'll be sure happy to do it. I cannot promise that I will be posting a video every day or every week because I could only do it on my free time, but definitely once a month. That's my promise to you. I wish you all the best, good luck, and I will fly with you soon. Mwah.